Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the solar eclipse. I am so big about eclipses. Eclipses are everything to us as an astrologer when we look to make predictions, because an eclipse is where the nodes of the moon are, which really do represent what's going on, what is the destiny of our lives. That's where Rahu, the north node of the moon, is, and Ketu, the south node of the moon. So if you find them even in your birth charts, it tells you really what your destiny is, what you've come here to do with your lifetime. So vitally important. They are really, it's hard to understand because they are not really planets. They're arbitrary points in space where the moon, the transiting moon, actually hits the ecliptic. So where the moon hits the ecliptic going upward, that's Rahu. And where the moon hits the ecliptic going downward, what is the ecliptic, by the way? It's the path of the sun from our vantage point on Earth. So where the moon hits that path, going upwards, it's Rahu. Going downwards, exactly opposite, it's Ketu. So Rahu takes us into the world, and Ketu takes us out of the world. But these nodal axes are what cause eclipses. And eclipses are simply when the sun and the moon align with Earth. So this is really what all this is about, the sun, the moon, the earth. Aren't those the most important aspects of astrology when we speak about our birth charts or what's going on day in to day out? We wouldn't be here without the sun. We wouldn't have our nighttime, the moon, everything that's been spoken of on planet Earth revolves around the sun, the moon, and planet Earth, where we are, geocentric. So before I continue on with the details of what this eclipse is here to bring for us, to bring into our awareness, remember eclipses always bring something into our awareness, I want to tell you to sign up for my free newsletter because you're missing out if you're not getting my free newsletter. Go to galacticcenter.org and you will have all of my predictions every week delivered to your email address completely free. So check that out, and while you're at my website, you'll definitely want to check out my brand new magazine, Joni Patry's Astrology Insight. It's all online. And you get all of my predictions, plus you're going to get all sorts of interesting articles by some of the most up-and-coming Vedic astrologers in the world. So check it out, subscribe. It's only $9.99 a month. It's as much as a cup of coffee at Starbucks or whatever. And it'll bring you so much joy and happiness. I can assure you of that. So go to galacticcenter.org, and remember, if you want to study Vedic astrology, you can sign up for the university any time of year. It does not have to be when we start the beginning first class, because remember, it's all self-paced. Join our community. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com. Now let's get going, talk about what's happening for us this month, because October 25th is a solar eclipse, and the eclipse is where the sun and the moon are exactly conjunct. So it's a new moon with Ketu this time. So as I said, eclipses happen twice a year, the solar eclipse, one with Rahu, one with Ketu. This one, October 25th, is with Ketu. And the eclipse itself sits at 7 degrees of Libra. Interestingly enough, Venus is 8 degrees of Libra. So we've got Venus tied up with Rahu, with Ketu, and the sun and the moon. Venus is eclipsed by this eclipse. Venus is the planet of money, wealth and money. So you're going to find, of course, gosh, I don't even think it takes an astrologer to tell you where the economy is going. It is not going up, it's going down. And this is going to be a crisis for a while, because Venus being in Libra, Venus is so strong in the sign of Libra, it is wiped out, its energy. And Venus rules love and romance, opening our heart. Man, nobody's coming from this place right now. We need to be open, get more into the healing energy of love. That's everything. Really and truly, the only thing that does heal in this world is love. And I feel like nobody's feeling it right now with Venus being eclipsed by this eclipse energy. But don't forget about it. The only way you're going to make it through this crisis is through the power of love. And that is so healing. We need this right now more than anything. So don't let this take this away from you. Don't close your heart off. You'll probably be feeling pretty closed, because this eclipse has that powerful of an impact on everyone in the planet. And not only that, oppose the sun, the moon. Of course, we have Rahu, but Rahu's sitting very tight with Uranus, meaning something unexpected is about to be revealed. And yes, the earth's going to be shaking. There's going to be earthquakes. There's going to be calamities. There's going to be the prospect of war. We are not looking at a good period at all coming up here. This eclipse, to me, represents war and peace. Remember, Libra is a sign of peace, and it's being eclipsed. We don't have peace. We have the prospect of war and violence and anger. The hearts are closed off. We've got to remember to reopen our heart if we're going to make it through this period. And we will. We always do. But remember, eclipses always reveal something that we didn't know about. What is it that's being revealed that we don't know about? Well, hey, if we knew about it, it wouldn't be an eclipse energy. Because what is an eclipse? But it's a darkening of the light. So in the darkness, something's revealed to us. I still think it has a lot to do with the fact that all of the virus and the things that came down upon the world was pretty much man-made. There's something going on that this whole thing, it's not natural. And people have been at odds and at war with each other. This is so critical. When are we going to learn to come together and help one another again? Be supportive, be loving as countries, as a whole, as nations. We need the healing now. That's what this eclipse energy is bringing to the surface. All the ugliness of those that have been controlling the world. And the beautiful side of all of this is that now we can see the truth. And that's what this eclipse is bringing up, that we can see what's been happening over the course of the past few years, what has been transcribing through the stars. I've been telling everyone this next 2 years, the truth will come out. And it is now. This eclipse is so powerful. Even between the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse on November 8th. That 2-week period, I call that the eclipse season. That's where things are going to evolve and the light is going to come forth. We're going to find the truth on so many things. It's not even funny. So Saturn, this whole time, I know I've been talking about this, is squaring Uranus. This is, for all of this to be happening within the same period and Mars going retrograde on October 30th, things are going to be so out in the open and so intense. But I want to talk mainly about this eclipse. It is going to be in the nakshatra called Swati. So what is Swati? Swati, that nakshatra, it's actually ruled by Rahu, therefore it is very intense. Take my word for it. This nakshatra brings intensity with it. But its symbol is a blade of grass that is pretty much swaying in the wind. And in India, they always say that the nakshatra Swati is the epitome of the good businessman, because Swati is all about swaying wherever it needs to make things work. And you know, that could be very much the politician. The politician's going to say whatever's going to work to get him elected, and then they do what they want. This is Swati. And so Swati is like, with this election thing coming up in the US, and you know, there's other places in the world that things are changing politically, you're going to see political sway to get what they need, get what they want. It's pretty intense. But also Venus and this nakshatra deal particularly with business. So we're going to find that businesses are being wiped out. They're not doing well, but this is where the focus has to be. And this eclipse energy is going to be helpful and beneficial to the economy in terms of waking up of what needs to be done. But there's not so much that can even be done with so much fighting and war going on all at the same time. So what's going to come out of this actually is a lot to do with weapons, with guns, with war, with swaying whichever way the wind blows in order to make things happen for those that want to remain in power. And they will. They're going to be very captivating and very convincing, because that's what Swati does. And that's what's happening, because Libra, don't forget, is the sign of balance, but it's also the scales and represents justice. So guess what? A lot of people feel like justice is going to be met. And that goes in every aspect of the world, of everyone who has been doing something wrong. They're going to be caught and they're going to have to pay. And that goes for every political leader. I know half of you will say, well, that means Trump, and the other half will say, no, that means Biden. It will be both. Justice will prevail, so don't worry about what side you're on, or who you're rooting for, or who you're not rooting for. Justice will prevail, and that's all we need right now. We don't have to take sides. We don't have to care who's been doing what, just that the divine will take care of it all. And justice always does prevail, whether it's in this lifetime or the next. No one gets away with anything. And that's what I think this eclipse energy is all about, that people are going to have to pay their just dues for all the actions that they have created in the past. And that's not just bad, it's good deeds as well. So remember, if you've been doing the right thing, following your path, following your truth, you'll be rewarded. And so will others that have been doing the right thing. So just look and say, may thy will be my will, and may the divine take care of everything on planet Earth to heal it, to make it a better place and a better world. This eclipse is meaningful. It's powerful. It's going to bring the reality of what is true to the surface for all of us, even in our own personal lives and in our own personal relationships. So as I've been saying, if you have not been honest and true, and you know if you have or haven't, you're going to pay the consequence, for good or bad. If you've been good, guess what? You're going to receive wonderful things in love, in happiness, in relationships. But if you've been dishonest, things are going to surface. No one gets away with anything anymore. Not for the next 6 months, you'll see. Okay, so that is the October solar eclipse, October 25th, 2022. Get ready Between the solar and the lunar, we have a lot of uncovering to do. So with that, I'll close. And remember, if you want to learn more about Vedic astrology, go to my university website, universityofvedicastrology.com. And if you want to learn more about me and my studies, go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Thank you.